Hi everybody, I hope this video finds you well. Today we're going to start our studies on Latin American revolutions. Now, before we talk about Latin American revolutions, let's review. When we learned about the French Revolution, we learned that revolutions that change the political system in a country are called political revolutions. Now, political revolutions happen when people's economic, social, and political needs are not met. So, if that is true, and Latin American revolutions were political, this means that the social, political, and economic needs of the people of Latin America were not met. So let's find out what that was all about. Okay, so in the process, you will learn about the Columbian Exchange and what the organization was like. What did it look like? What did people, how did people live? Who colonized Latin America? What countries in Latin America? There's a lot of questions that we're going to be able to answer. Now, just for today, we're not going to learn all of that in one day. We're going to take it step by step. But it's very important for you to understand the basics so that you can understand what happens later on. So what I would like for you to do is, as I go through the video, I would like for you to take notes. And I would like for you to send me those notes. I would like to see how you wrote the notes as you went through the video. Okay. So the first thing that happened was that Christopher Columbus arrived to the New World. The New World is what he called it, but it wasn't a new world at all because people were already there, so it couldn't have been new. Please keep that in mind as we go through. So the New World that he's talking about was what we know today as Latin America, and there were already people living there. Okay? Think about enduring issues of Columbus arriving from Spain and calling it a new world when people were already there. Think about that. Bear with me, my children. This is the first time I make a video like this. I promise you it will get better. Okay. So then let's talk about how did the discovery of the New World affect Europe? The discovery of the New World had a profound, that means very big, very deep, profound impact on Europe. How so? Politically, which means it had an effect on its government. Economically, which means that it had an effect on its economy, on the products that it sold, on the products that it bought. And socially, it changed their society. It changed how people lived, how they ate, how they dressed. It changed everything. And it changed the people in general. Okay. In addition, it changed the way that Europeans looked at the world, how they saw themselves in the world, who they thought they were, and how they thought they could impact or influence other parts of the world, according to them. Remember that you could pause and go back to the video as many times as you need to. In addition, you can send me messages and questions about the videos, okay? And I will be more than happy to answer them. Now, earlier in the video, I had told you that you were going to learn about the Columbian Exchange. Well, what was that? The Columbian Exchange was a massive, that means very, very big, exchange of plants, animals, and people between the old world, which is what Spain called the world that they already knew, and the new world, what we know now as the Latin American countries that they colonized. And that started in 1492 because that's when Columbus went there for the first time, to the present. Now, what is mercantilism? Very important, my friends, very important. Mercantilism is an economic idea that stresses trade and control over overseas markets. Those are the colonies. So they would take products from the old world to the new world and products from the new world to the old world. Okay, it was that exchange, that trade, and that control that the colonizers had over the products and the markets of the colonies. Now, this is a visual of what the Columbian Exchange looked like. You can see. Do you see the different products? This will explain how we have certain products and the exchange and how we got them and the history of how they got to different parts of the world. This is a visual of mercantilism. If you look, when you're looking at a map, it is very important for you to look at the legend or the key, which, for example, in this case, it would be here. See? This is the key right there. And the key will tell you what you're looking at. So if, for example, if you look at the key and you see the green, that's where the Spanish were. That's where the Spanish were trading with the products. And you can see different parts of the world that were trading and that were participating in this policy of mercantilism and colonialism. You can see that it was all of Europe, basically. Okay? Now, these men that went there, they were called the Spanish conquistadors. They were paid by the Spanish government to go and explore so they could bring wealth, gold, and glory back to their country. And I want you to think about that for a minute. If you were Spanish, would you be proud of these men that went exploring all around the world to find glory and wealth to bring back to the country? Or would you be ashamed? I am going to stop here, and I want you to respond in full sentences. By that I mean complete sentences. And please respond to that. If you were Spanish, that means you're from Spain, would you feel proud of the Spanish conquistadors for going around the world and exploring and finding the new world and bringing back all that glory, gold, and wealth back to your country? Please explain. Thank you. Don't forget that you can send me questions and you can review this as much as possible. I hope it was good. I'm sure it will be helpful to you. I promise that I will get better at it. Bye. Thank you.